How are we doing? I think that's us there. Sorted. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Nice to have you along. And there we go. I think that should do us. Sorted. So, guys, it's been a lovely little weekend. I'm not going to lie. The game week didn't go particularly good for me. Just interested to see. I can get all this stuff up and running now. First of all, we're going to have an amazing stream on Thursday. It's going to be a massive game week, but I've got a bunch of guests lined up to come in and go through all the regions with us. So tonight, guys, it's just going to be a little mini stream. We'll run for it as long as we want to. I've got a little to-do list of talking points to go through with these. So we'll kind of cover that. We'll probably be here for maybe about 40 minutes, maybe about an hour at a push. We'll see how tough some of the selections get. We'll go over the selections from the last week. I'll look at the game week scores that are about to finish for game week 120. Spoiler, it was crap. And also looking at the week ahead, new club is launching tomorrow, which will be the 1st of December. I've told you guys, December is going to be fire. And let's hope it's an amazing launch we've got tomorrow. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure December is going to be covered with announcements and developments and everything else in between. Let's line it up here. Looks like let's do that. But yeah, so let's what I'll do is I'll throw up on the stream my game result weeks for the game weeks that we're in at the moment, so you can see this. I'm 74th all of a sudden. That cannot be right, surely. This cannot be right. I checked it last night and I was like, oh, I wonder if I refresh that if it's going to. That's good. I hope it's not going to go to the stream. I checked it. Yeah, it's gone, isn't it? Yeah. I knew that because I checked it last night and I had a tier 3 card to be coming, and I checked it about an hour or two before the stream and it was gone because also there's a few games on tonight. So I didn't understand how that would be possible. The only thing we're coming away with is a bit of ETH. Now, the squads that we put out, you know, I was trying to predict, and I think we're all trying to do this, don't we? But you're trying to predict what could the rotation be, what might be the manager thinking, what's the team's priorities. What's this game like that they're playing? Is it easy? Is it hard? Is it medium? What about the subsequent fixture after that? That's the kind of steps that we're always talking ourselves through. If you are here, by the way, guys, just because I had a wee problem the last stream, if you could just give me some sort of interaction and let me know you can hear me, okay? Save me going away and testing this myself. But yeah, so we're trying to do that to the best of our abilities. And you know, Challenger Europe, we got everyone on the pitch. For Sharon didn't start, which was a kick in the bum. And that was one of the ones where I thought, you know what, if he came off the bench and got a goal, it might still be quite credible. I don't think we're anywhere close to it. The Champion Europe D3, which was my favourite lineup, all the way until Sunday, when whenever Leverkusen were meant to be playing. The All Black and the Trippier rattled in massive scores. Captain Depay did as well. And we just needed those two guys to get on the pitch, and both of them missed out. Alario with a knee pain, and Amiri had an illness, and it was only reported like the morning of the match kind of thing, so there was no way to forecast it or legislate for it. This was the Gambly team that we threw together, and we just thought, we'll just put all these odds and sods together. A lot of them are rotation risks and whatever else, and we'll see what happens. Harrison of Fools went and hit 67 for us. Cuisance did amazing, got a 61. He was down as having 2 assists, but with the first one get taken off him, and you know, it was just an incorrect score that he got at the time. Clivert never even come off the bench, which was disappointing against Byfield. And Jalmario did okay. Now, I've got to say, my kids are in the next room, they're watching Home Alone. Whenever they watch Home Alone, they just go mad because it's all slapstick. So if you hear any mad screams or whatever, that's all it is. The All-Star D4, I tried to put this team together thinking, even if the goalkeeper doesn't play, if the other 4 cards can get around 50 plus each, then we'll get some ether. Crepin didn't start, which was a worry, which is why he did end up in All-Star D4. I thought the reason I still played him is because I thought I'm being stupid. Of course, he's going to play as a big player for them, but I did have in the back of my mind that the Zenit game, which we'll come to tonight, was so important for them, and the rest of some bodies. We still managed to scrape out the bottom ether threshold, which I can accept, having 2 DNPs. I'm quite happy with that. Under 23 D3 was doing well right up until, you know, Tanny DNP'd on me, and just got a notification there to make sure it wasn't one of you guys trying to tell me I was still quiet or on mute or whatever. Just after that happened last week, because we get just the way we anecdote, we tried to do some streams in the back end of summer, and I just messed up the audio so much. So now I'm quite paranoid about it. Everything was cool. Last week we had a wee glitch. It was just me clicking off. Anyway, Tanny DNP and screwed us big time. Wirtz and Bailey didn't do that great, but Kamada and Takao more than held their weight. And if Tanny had got on the pitch, like we finished 59th, you know what I mean? If he'd even got us another 30 or 40 points, we would have definitely bagged something. This was looking really good as well until Joe David was on the bench and come off to get some points. And that was the last division where we might have had a wee bit of a chance. We were on tier 3 threshold right up until tonight, kind of thing. So, you know, Ferran Torres and Gabriel did well. I thought not so much in Carlos SoRare. And a 1-0 loss, scored 43 is not bad at all. So wait, I've got this wee stupid thing in my... Can't get rid of it. Just gonna put it down here. No, put it. There we go. So wait. So yeah, guys, if you're here, let everybody know it. Amiri, Jack's tell me about it. I was absolutely raging. Oh, sugar. When I seen it. Now, the problem I've got with Amiri is, do I think that he'll make it for the midweek game? Now, they've got Nice away. Which is a really big match for them. That group is still totally wide open. And part of me thinks that they maybe just hear, oh, I feel a bit ill on my knees, get a wee thing in it, and they just go, no, you're just not playing. We've got the players to accommodate. Let's just rest you today, go home, chill out, and then the game on Thursday against Nice, just make sure you're firing on all cylinders. I would not be surprised if that's what is taking place. It's really hard to determine that, you know, just me being me, you know, I don't work for Leverkusen or anything like that. But yeah, so I'm hoping. Now, I'm just going to get us on to this game week now. I actually, as always, I kind of went ahead and did a wee kind of dry run just to not waste time messing about with some of the basic stuff, you know. So we're on the page now. Where are we? Boom, 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 boom. That's it. Just always double check the screen. That's the new rule. It's the new rule of the channel. Just always double check the main screen. I need to get another monitor. That's kind of what I really need in this setup. So I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to delete them all off. And because there's been some recent developments which we'll come to in terms of squads. Kind of touched on the Leverkusen situation. We have a few other situations in a few other places. So what we'll do is I'm going to start off at the top, right? Because getting the minimum ether threshold this week is acceptable, but with the gallery I have, I should always be getting that minimum. I should be getting that maximum one every single time. So I'm going to start with the D4 because I can, number one, see how many goalkeepers I've got, pardon me, and I can also then make sure I've got a good chance of getting myself to the top ether threshold, as well as then maybe going to get some prizes, because the global all-star, as much as it's competitive, you know, if I'm doing well and getting the high level of points, then I'm going to get some cards as well, no doubt. So in terms of goalkeeper, for this one, I'm really tempted. It's really difficult, right? Because I'm really tempted to put the common Lopez in again, right? Because I know he'll play against young boys. He has a common, but it does then limit my D4 potential to go and kick on higher up the division. So the question I then pose to myself is, well, I've got a few different situations. So we've got All Black and Akin Thief. So let's say champion and challenger. Do we have an under 23? We've got Nubo under 23, by the way. I think he might be. Yeah, it must be. So we've got him, and we've got Trubin. Now, we don't expect Trubin. It's hard to say if anyone will do well. You know, Shakhtar did well against Madrid last time. They're on terrible form since then in the Champions League. And Nubel away to Atleti is not it's not a good it's not a good Champions League debut to necessarily have. Even though they're a high scoring team, they are ruthless. And how much will Bayern have of the ball, you'd expect. So there's a few things to talk. And we've got All Black on the opposite end of the pitch. So I think I'm going to try and actually keep these guys for the under 23s. I've got a champion, I've got a challenger. So it then leaves me with my two POWs. Can I get? Yeah, I'm going to be using both of them. I'm going to be using both of them. Safe to say. So now that we've got him picked, in terms of at the back, we've got decent array of choices, but we've got a lot of question marks across the board. So the top 3 there, I think, are certain to play. So again, we've got 2 challengers. We're probably not going to need both of them for that. 1 champion Europe and Danilo. And then, I don't know, with the Louise injury, does Louise maybe get rested again? Mustafi's played a fair amount of Europa League. Manolas, that's a big game for Napoli. So will he play? Played well again at the weekend. Leerdam's been good this year, but he does have a couple of DNPs recently. I think just the one. I suppose it was the last game which just kind of let me down. Cabori's not really been featuring much. Mancini went off in his game in the 35th minute or something. So without even looking into that, I'm not even. Yeah, it's a gamble. And then Chris Richards, could he actually get a start? If we're going to be bringing Nubo, there was some injury concerns to some of the other defenders, and the defence has been quite tightly stretched over the last year or so. Really feels like they're always missing somebody. So Chris Richards could be a little wild card for us. We'll come back to him if we think we can get some use out of him. But with I think we're going to be taking the Richie Delat because he's pretty solid, pretty safe, and it means we can keep the Mbemba for the challenger. So again, I'm quite happy to do that. In terms of midfield, we should have a decent amount of choice. Cengiz Under, I expect him to play. Didn't play today, I don't think. Oh no, I got a wee notification. I think he came off the bench for a bit. But predominantly plays Europa League. Now, we've got the American contingent, in fact. So for this global D4, the rest of it, I can tell you now, is going to pick itself because I've got my boys in Kansas. Yeah, my Kansas boys are playing, and I don't have any other division to put them in. So we're going Eli, we're going Johnny Russell, and we're going the main man himself, Alan Pulido. Boom. Magic. And captain's got to be Johnny Russell, just because I think he'll be involved in tons. Now, again, this should get me top end Ether threshold. I'm quite happy with that. If it didn't, I'd be so surprised. These 3 guys will play for Kansas as long as they're fit and ready. I believe Pulido was touch and go for the last round and will make this round. So even if he comes off the bench, I back him to be a big impact, actually go on, get an assist, get a goal, that kind of thing. He's been really kicking on and doing well when he's been playing, but he's just been in and out the team. Johnny Russell's been ever present. I'm really happy with that global D4 outfit. Really, really happy with that. So where will we go next? I think we might go into another 23s next, because we know we've got those 2 goalkeepers. Now, what I'm going to do, we want to use both of them? Do we want to keep one for a champion Europe or a challenger? We've got some tough questions because we've got a lot of bodies to pick from this game week. I'm going to put the Nubo in. I think I won't be the only one that does that, so I think I'll be at the top end of the pitch here. Now, this is where it does get sketchy for us. The under 23s is at the back. So I think when I was deleting the lineups, I didn't actually have under 23s, but I did have the Nubo deployed. So I don't think the under 23s is where I'm flying this week. I just don't have the defence for it. And with my limited selection of goalkeepers and the fact that they can be competitive over here, I think that's what I'm going to go for again. So we'll hit the Challenger Europe, and then goals for, well, last time I had both divisions filled out, so we'll try that again. So we'll go with Trubin, we'll put him in. And then Cabor, did we take a gamble on him? I think we must have, unless we had another defender in rather than Richie Delat. I'm going to bring in Richie Delat over here. No, I'm not actually. I'm going to leave him there because I do want to value that D4. I'm going to go put the Cabori in case he does play, does get back in the team. In terms of midfield, I guess I'm going to put. How have I got a D? How did I have a D? Oh, so I've got Dorsch. So I probably went. Last time I done this, I probably went Dorsch midfield and then 2 up top. So we'll keep the Dorsch and then we'll use whatever. Yeah. So we'll put. And Gabriel played today, did well. So let's hope he goes on next game week and plays. And then up front, I think I would put this Nyangbo in my wee reward, and I'll probably put. No, I'll keep Grujic for the top actually, and then I'll put our boy Shappy in. That's a good little. No, actually, I think I'll keep Shappy for the D3. Do you know that? And I'll leave down here a Jetty. There we go. A bit of a no-hoper team, but we'll see how it goes. And we'll captain a Jetty just for shits and giggles in San Siro way. Let's hope he does something. Who says we don't have a sense of humour on the channel? Sorted. So we'll go and do the D3 next, just because we're kind of fresh out of that, and we'll have a wee look and a wee poke about. So we've got the Akinfeed to drop us in. We'll go in Bemba, Dorsch, and then Moga, Shappy. Let's go Shappy, and then Diatta. So we'll do that. Who are we leaving out? Grujic hasn't got a look in, which I think he'll play against Man City. Don't know how well he could or might not score, but I think I'll do that. Diatta will play. That's a must-win game for them. Shappy at home, Dorsch at home, and Bemba will be active against City. I can promise you that. And we're going to go. It's always got to be Captain Dorsch. I think that's a decent little D3 outfit, by the way. Oh, look! I just won an auction. You couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. Look who just won an auction. I couldn't help myself. I had a wee bit of spare for a CD was on today, and I thought I'm going to buy one at some point. It's never going to be cheaper than 0.1. I've got a wee bit of ETH there. Why not? Just stick it in. Now, where are we? Sorry, I totally threw me off there. What I'm going to try and do at some point in the stream as well is I'm going to try and get a test run on the Zoom stuff. Just because, oh, is that what that little bar is? Just so that a test run ahead of Thursday, because I say Thursday we've got a bunch of guests lined up. I tried to do it before the stream. I thought it was set up, but it doesn't look like it now. So sorry if excuse me for a second. No, cancel. It's just annoying messing about stuff. Sorry guys, but yeah, we've got Nakamura, number 14. Oh, do you know what? I wish I'd held out and got number 25 because that was his number at Celtic. I might do that. But yeah, we've got Nakamura now, so it's funny. Oh, you're joking me, man. Somebody just said no audio to me. Somebody has just said no audio. Guys, there's a bunch of you here. The audio has to be fine. The audio has to be fine. I will be very upset if it isn't, because it should be hunky-dory. The audio has to be. Aye, the audio's fine. Sorry guys. Don't know why I got that message, or maybe it's from earlier or something. I don't know, maybe I messed something up before, but everything seems fine now. Yeah, audio is fine. Cheers, Phil. Totally threw me off my game there. So we were Challenger D3. So I'm quite happy with the fixtures we've got, the players we've got. The Champion Europe is really where I want to get some decent prizes won this week. I think. Oh, so we still got the POW. I'm looking at the. Oh, so I think maybe what did we do? Did we maybe go D4 Nuble, D3 POW, and then big D3 All Black? I think that's what we'll do. So we'll go Nuble in here in the D4. At the back, I'm going to go Manolas. Yeah, we'll go Manolas because I reckon he'll play. That's a must-win game for them. We don't really know how well Nuble will score. Also, I think Zielinski plays that game as well. We'll double Napoli on that one. Up front, oh no, slim pickings. Let's go Ronaldo because we can play him, and why not? And then the extra card, unless we can get two players better. Well, maybe we can back to Ronaldo and see if we can maybe swap him out. Lamar's coming off the bench quite a lot. He started, I think, at the weekend. Yeah. Does he maybe start against Bayern because he's attacking? You know, does Simeone maybe fancy catching him? With the, they are quite light in defence. You know, I think it was Sula's been in and out. Boateng, I think, is subbed through injury, and also Kimmich is out. Lucas Hernandez has got a injury record. Alphonso Davies hasn't been around from memory last couple of game weeks. So I don't know if I made to the gamble on Lamar. Roca won't play, unfortunately, because he gets sent off against Salzburg. And I think Torres will play. I think Under plays. Let's put McKennie in here. So I reckon he'll play and he'll probably get an okay score, and we'll go captain Zielinski because he's just got the most goal threat out of the players we can captain. So I'm quite happy with that. What do you think of that Champion D14? You know, is it too weak? You know, Ronaldo, we've had this chat up before, I suppose, but then we'll go Pau Lopez in there. Then we'll go Danilo. We'll keep the Trippier to go with the All Black. Now, this is where it gets. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, so we've got Cuisance and we've got Amiri, and we've got the Trippier, so we can only get 2 super rares in. I think the Cuisance. I think we keep Amiri for this one, because I believe he will play. But I want All Black and Trippier to be with my best outfit. They're my primary defence. It doesn't matter who the hell they're playing. It's Atletico Madrid. You know what I mean? They live and breathe and die for a 1-0 win. So yeah, we'll keep them. Alario, with it being a knee thing, he's a wee bit more gambling for me. Joe David at home to Sparta. I think he plays as well. The points in that group, because Celtic are dead and buried, it's all up for grabs between the other 3 teams. So this is must win for Leo. It comes into my thinking why he's maybe get rested at the weekend and only come off the bench. So I think Bailey plays. I think I don't think he'll get 90 minutes, so right enough. And I think David plays as well. And we need to keep at least one of these guys. Let's put Alario in here. And then who's the extra player? So we've got Wirtz. Wirtz isn't going to get into the other lineup, is he? Because we're going to be looking to get Cuisance. Who 2 super rares? Am I tripping? Cuisance. And I think we want to keep Ferran Torres for the other one, don't we? Or Cengiz Under. I pretty much know Under's going to play. I think he'll score. What was the wee train of thought I was just on? Guys, help me out. Help me out, guys. We definitely want to keep the Cuisance. Aye, so we've got Wirtz. Actually, let's keep Wirtz. And then who was the other striker we're a wee bit iffy about? I think we're going to. Do we maybe also then put Ferran Torres? Is such a big rotation risk this week. I think he will play, but I've got more people that are more likely to play. Justin Kluivert, I'm not even going to go anywhere near him this game week. With Lamar, which I bought a wireless mouse, I didn't need to do this, and you can hear all the buttons clicking and stuff. Oh, there we go. This is so much better. Right, so we leave one. So Wirtz, Cuisance, and then one striker for the last lineup. Who's the last striker going to be? It's going to be Bailey or Joe David. It's going to be Joe David for me. No, it's going to be Bailey. So that means I'm going to put Joe David over here. Okay, that's what I was thinking. And then captain, I'm going Joe David because I think it's more like Alario. I believe he will play, but with it being a knee thing, he might come off the bench. They might try and keep him. But I say it's away to Nice. It's a must-win game for them, or a not-lose game anyway. I've actually got through the teams quite quickly this week so far. We'll do the last one, and then we will. I dropped some players in the stuff for you. So we've only got one goalkeeper left. We're going All Black. I think we pretty much know how this team's going to look, but we're going Trippier, and then we're going Wirtz, aren't we? Wirtz and Cuisance. Yeah, Cuisance, Wirtz, and Bailey. Or do we put Kyrie Shelton in? Or what if we put Kyrie Shelton in the D4? I don't know if he'll play, but if Toledo plays, I want to get Johnny Russell or something into this team. Let's see how it looks. Bailey, and then we've got Wirtz. Team's good. That team is excellent. And then captain, I'm going to go Wirtz. Just because Bailey has been tiring, 40. It was a tough game they had at the weekend, right enough. Wirtz at 37. But I think Wirtz will be on the ball more, being the away team. A midfielder's preferential to have for that sort of reason. Cuisance should play at home to Olympiacos, and expect him to keep his tail feathers up and really go for it. Right, now we've got some really good spare bodies, guys. So I'll do a second pass over the teams, right? With you guys helping me out. Hopefully we've got a bunch of these here now. I have noticed that Manolas has been getting dropped through. I don't know if I said it when you were here, Sam, but it's a must-win game for them. I don't know if they need to go full strength just to get the points and get the qualification secured. He has a gamble, you're right, but we don't have many other options. I'll be coming back to that. We'll do a second pass around it, as I was saying, and I'll give you what the hell is going on with this? This is really annoying me, by the way, this crappy Zoom stuff. I'm just going to press update on this and see if that does something. Okay, download something. Right, okay. Let's hope that fixes itself out. So the global, this is one where we went pretty much all American on everything but the defense. Again, I'm really happy with that. But let's say if we dropped, who's extra? Does it still count the Toledo as extra? Yeah, it does. So if we maybe drop the Toledo, because we still have some good cards. Toledo, oh no. Even if we drop the Russell, because Johnny Russell will definitely play. So if we maybe drop the Russell, it's not going to be for an Arsenal, so we need to drop the Toledo, sorry, to get a midfielder in and get him over the striker. So we've got Under, we've got Torres, we've also got Gadi Kinda, and I think he might play. Shelton, Grujic. I think Grujic plays, I just don't know how well he'll score, so that works for me. And then we'll get Johnny Russell out for Pulido. The only reason I put Johnny Russell ahead of Pulido is because Pulido might just come off the bench. But again, like I said earlier, when we did this team first time around, even if he does come off the bench only, I'm quite happy that he'll still get a goal or a goal contribution of some sort, scored decent to complement the rest of that outfit. So we can do that. Gives us our Johnny Russell to put in a D3. And do you know what? I think we take the hit on, in this division anyway, Leon Bailey, because he has been slowing down a little bit. He's been played every game from the start recently, and it's been a really relentless fixture list. So I don't think we take the game. I'm saying this, I'm probably jinxing the hell out of myself right now, and Wirtz won't start, and and I'm going Captain Russell. That's just what we've done on the channel since we've had him. So we'll do that. I'm just going to click this, see if I need to do something. Bloody. Right, I hope you can't see that, because that would annoy me. No, you can't. That's great. So something stupid pop up on the screen. Cool. So what have we just freed up for elsewhere? We've just freed up the Bailey, haven't we? So Champion Europe, D3. And we're just going to take the risk out of it. I think Alario is more risky to play than Bailey, so we're just going to swap them out. I think that makes sense. Amiri's still a bit of a risk, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And then the Alario will drop him down and kick somebody out of here. Yeah, okay, so Ronaldo, McKennie. So McKennie, really good thing if you're on the market now is McKennie's last 5 is really crap. But I know right before he kind of fell out that team, this is him coming back from injury and stuff. He'd shot a few, he was doing well. So I'm actually just going to swap the common Ronaldo out for Alario. Watch this, Ronaldo will shoot 100 and Alario won't play at all. And by the way, if you're new around here, you can see Ronaldo's minus 45% because he's a common card. So he needs to score high for him to be more powerful than a rare. Somebody like Ronaldo has that ability, has proven that before, has won big prizes before as well. But even if Alario starts and does okay, he's likely to get a similar score to Ronaldo playing amazing. So, and the chance of Alario to even get a goal and shoot a 60 or 70, which Ronaldo can't surpass. He can't surpass 55 for me, really. So yeah, he needs to score more than 55 basically to be definitely better. And Manolas, can we revisit the Manolas? Well, Chris Richards, guys, do we think he plays? Let me know. What do you think? Chris Richards. I was looking at Bayern defence earlier, and as I say, I've just got this memory. I don't want to dick about the screens too much, so I've got stupid Zoom stuff on in the background here. It's asked me to update it all of a sudden. So I'm just going to mess about with this and see. Well, you guys tell me if we think Chris Richards is going to play away to Atletico Madrid, bearing in mind that Nubel was going to be playing. There's going to be no Goretzka, there's going to be no Tolisso. I expect Javi Martinez will play. And I think I've got that stupid Zoom thing working again. Join with computer audio. Just say yeah. And participants, how that add participant, invite. Copy invitation. Sweet. And then, sorry guys, thanks for bearing with me, just when I mess about with some stuff. Oh, there we go. I think this might work. Just press hide on that. And then, yeah. Guys, none of you have told me what to do with my defence here. Manolas, Chris Richards, who else is there? What can we do? Tell me. Gabriel, do you think Gabriel's going to play because of the Louise thing? Mancini's not going to play, so don't say anything about him. So I just know that's not going to happen. What do we do with that last defender piece? I wonder even if... oh, Mike, thanks a lot, mate. I just got your DM. I just typed into Twitter, sorry. That works. Yeah. See if it does work. Right. Okay, sorted. Let's see, guys. Fingers crossed. Chat, where are we at, guys? Right, Sam. I know Maximenko, or Maximovic, sorry, is likely to start. But do you reckon Manolas, if you've been studying Napoli, we're damn out? Well, he didn't play the last game, and I'm not going to lie, David, I didn't investigate it too heavily because I couldn't be bothered and I don't need him. If I need him, I'll go and investigate, but I don't think, yeah, he doesn't really solve my Manolas problem because he only frees up for me Richie Delat, who's a challenger player, so it doesn't really help me. So I'm not, I don't know, David, I don't know. If you want to let me know, by all means, feel free. But I could not tell you, son. Don't know why I say son. It's just being cheeky, sorry, mate. It's just a force of habit in here, call people son. Right, Manolas. He has played one Europa League game back there, that 56, or the 42 was one of them anyway. I think it was the 56. I think with it being a must-win game, I personally do think they bring the best team out. Zielinski's been playing, he's been getting back into the team, he's been doing well. He got a good score at the weekend, 53 and a 66 in Europa League the week before. So I think he plays. I think Kenny plays. Yeah. Chris Richards, but imagine he gets a start and bosses it. What we'll do, right, rather than me just kind of waiting for you guys to not interact, come on, help the brother out here. I will go and check out, let's check out the Bayern squad, right? I'll show you, look at this. So, then let's get that screen out to you. Boom, 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 boom. Right, there we go. Just waiting for it to load. I am so happy I got that Chris Richards. It's actually funny, right? Because I've done these videos for a wee bit of time, and the thing I tell everyone right at the beginning when they're like, who do I buy? I always say, listen, just go and find football players you like. Doesn't matter where in the world you find them. Come on to SoRare, search them, and if they're not there, follow them. Because when they become active, you're going to get an email, and nobody else could be following them. You'll be the only person that gets that email saying that card's now been issued for whatever reason. Why have I clicked on this? For whatever reason it might be. So last night, when I knew it was New Faces Power Hour, is what they called it. How did I? That is just annoying. I had to open another. Screen. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I even got it to you yet. 2 seconds. Let me fix that. I know I'm back, but why is this screen? Boom. There we go. There we go. Sorted. Finally, guys. Thanks for your patience. Really appreciate it. So check the squad out. Okay, now if this opens into our stupid tabs, I'm not going to go and open them all up, right? But oh, look at this. On PC, it makes it so much easier. What I normally do if I'm on my phone is I zip into every one of them individually and I check out their form, if they've been in the team, how many minutes they've got. If they've not been in, Flash Scores is really good at telling you like they've been injured or they've just not been in the squad or that kind of thing. Chris Richards says knock, hip injury, knee injury, muscle injury, ankle and muscle. So we've got David Alaba, Tanguy Kouassi, Ben Pavard, Nicholas Sula. I don't think he's been back long, if at all. Didn't realise Javi Martinez was also injured, by the way. I thought he'd have definitely played, but it means the boy who went live last night, Jamal Musiala, is going to... How can he not play in this team? You know, Joshua Zirkzee, he's not been anywhere near the squad. I don't know if he will get a look in ahead of Choupo-Moting. Never thought I would say that. But I think Chris Richards, it says it's a knock there, but was he on the bench for the last game? So I'm clicking on him. Is he keeping us on the screen? It is. Lovely jubbly. Last matches. Transfers. That's not well. What do we see? Last matches. This is weird. Maybe he's not featured since after that little break. He played 11 minutes against Panama. I wonder if he came off injured. Yeah, well, he didn't play. He didn't start, I beg your pardon. Yeah, so he came off the bench for the last 10. That's fine. And then, so I'm pretty sure when I look at SoRare, I'll change the screens back for you guys in a second. But it was DNP, then a 39 before that. Do you know, I actually fancy that he might feature. And if you reckon Manolas isn't going to play, then fuck it. I'm going for it. Why not? Back my new card, my 1 of 100 Chris Richards. Let's debut him. Let's get him wet behind the ears. Let's get him tossed into the deep end. So lovely jubbly. All right, and let's get you back onto SoRare with me. Because that's just the way the show goes. That's just the way the show goes. Right, there we go. Share. Boom. Kick the flash scores off now. Don't need that anymore. Lovely joke, right? Right, sorted. So, guys, I had a few little kind of talking points. Okay, so we had game week 120. We've kind of went over that already. I've got squad. Okay, so I'll kind of come on to that before I go into the Challenger Europe stuff. Okay, so what I mean by squad, right, I was having this kind of chat in the aftermath of last night. Mbappe going for 48 grand was absolutely crazy. It had me high as a kite afterwards. I was just so hyped. I was like, just want to go fucking on the internet and talk about this. Just couldn't help myself. We've got Nakamura, we need to add him on the spreadsheet. But what I was kind of having chats about, because people are like, oh, what was it? Mark said or something, like you made him money or something. I went and got the Mark Roca, you can see here, for 0.12. It looks like I've spent 50 quid. The Ike Ugbo for 0.182. Looks like I spent 76. And the Chris Richards for 0.145. Okay, now I still had like 0.072 left in my gallery. And we got the Nakamura for 4 quid, basically. I bought half a coin of Ether the very first time the first time I used Ramp. I did a tweet about it. It wasn't really that long ago, but I got half a coin for when the price was at 375. So last night, I think it was up at 425. So I've spoken about this before in the channel, but if you've got coin cheaper than what it's currently going for, when I'm stepping into these auctions, I'm absolutely gutted. I never had a little bit more and I didn't get myself in the Mecca. But when I go into these auctions, you know, spending 0.12, that looks like 50 quid, right? But I spent 375 on half a coin, which is 190 basically. I spent 190, and at that time half a coin would have been 215. So I'm about 10% down on all these numbers. You know, I only paid really 45 for that Roca. I only really paid like 69 or something like 68 quid, and then with that 54. So there's a wee edge off of all of that for me because I bought that half a coin a week ago or something and managed to sit on it, and that's the benefit. But the reason I'm kind of talking about this is you need to be, and again, it sounds really blatant and obvious, right? You see, one thing you can miss out on sometimes is just filtering your gallery by league, you know? So I'm just going to go for everything that's not Asian or MLS, and you'll see what I'm left with, okay? Now, it's nothing bad about it, there's nothing wrong, but I need to be in you need to be with your gallery aware of exactly what that looks like. It looks like 70 cards, okay? So we click on that. We've got these guys that are brand new, striker, a striker, a midfielder. I'm not going to go through the ins and outs of the whole thing for you, but you'll see as I scroll through, right? 2 goalkeepers, 1's rotational. I'll scroll through further. Good mixture of defenders, midfielders, and attackers. Different ages and different regions. 3rd goalkeeper who's rotational at best. Really Nubel, I know he's probably playing this week, but Fabio Silva will probably get some more game time. Ruffier, honestly, I need somebody to buy this guy in January and get him some minutes because he's a decent goalkeeper, but he's got some mad crazy injury. I don't even know when the hell he's back from it. And St Etienne have kind of sacked him. So he's basically a free agent with a crazy injury. Akinfeev plays, that's cool. So we're up to what? 2 definite goalkeepers, 2 rotations, and a January hoper. Lafont, so we've got 3, and he's 23. And Van de Voort, somewhere in between the bottom, and Schubert, back up at best, not even rotational goalkeepers. But young and get time on their side, so I can stick them in training and have them ticking away, obviously. And then my Pau Lopez common. So I've only really got 3 goalkeepers I can depend on, okay? So as much as I've kind of buffed out some other areas, that then makes me more secure. This is just the way I think of it. It makes it more, the purchase of the goalkeeper now becomes validated because I now have more cards to play with. It's not like I'm going to get a goalkeeper, spend a lot of money on it, and then it's like, I'm actually just putting a really gambly team together now just to get this goalkeeper used. I need to make sure I've got cards that can be utilised together, and the opportunity when I get the email through, I've got half a coin sitting there for cheap. I get an email through saying Mark Roca, Ika Ugbo, Chris Richards, and Lucas Nemeka have come on. I'm all over that. Bring them on because they're players that will fill out and do me some jobs. It's top all the rewards I keep winning. Nyangbo, McKennie, these types of things. So in terms of your squad, guys, that was a little kind of point, a little kind of talking point I had kind of earmarked to go over with you. So make sure you are doing that constant evaluation, especially if you have been diving into the rural territories like the Americas, J League, K League, that kind of thing, it's because I've got double that in my collection, but only half of it is European. So it's important to take stock of that and not lose yourself with, oh crap, I've got all these players and no goalkeeper, and vice versa. You've went and bought the goalkeeper, but it's like, what can I actually use it with now? Nothing. Excited for tomorrow, big time. I actually had that as my next one. Boom. Got a new club launch tomorrow. I think it's going to be a biggie, by the way. I think we're going to get more. I think Bayern and PSG, as daft as it might sound, but I think they're tip of the iceberg in the sense that they're big names to get on board. I think they sign these things a good bit ahead of time before they actually kick in, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So I think when they have like PSG rolling on, they're already talking to Bayern. And then when Bayern see PSG going live and Mbappe and Neymar and all these things going live, then they go, cool, we'll have some of that money too. We'll sell you our license. And then they boom. And then they're probably already talking to somebody. Look, there's Bayern, there's PSG, there's Juve, there's Atleti, And it kind of builds up their stock, their cred, for everything. So I'm really excited for tomorrow, 1st of December. I think this is going to be like a milestone. I hope it is anyway. I hope I'm not hyping myself up for nothing, but I've just got this feeling, 1st of December, I don't know. And then all the kind of little, and they're not innuendos, but all the little cheeky clues and hints have been given us. I think it's got to be a good one anyway. I don't think it's going to be, with the greatest respect, it's not going to be a Santos Laguna or something like that. I think we're going to get maybe a credible maybe like a Wolves or, maybe some Leeds, could be something like that. Imagine we got Leeds. Imagine it. The world would end. But I think we could get something like that. It might even be something as crazy as like a relegated Premier League team in the Championship. I can't really think off the top of my head who that might be. Maybe one of the clubs that are quite commercially active. I don't know. But I think it's going to be a Champion Europe team anyway. And the whole Labor, there's a link to Red Star. It could be a French team. They've said it's not Monaco. It could equally be somebody like Rennes or a kind of mid-range League One team, which would be cool also. But I've got a feeling if it's not tomorrow, I think we're going to get a bit more British influence over the platform because we've only got West Ham, so, and they've not even reissued the West Hams for this season yet, which does strike me as odd. I'm thinking they're maybe got another Premier League 1 or 2 lined up and they want to redo the new season West Ham in line with that somewhere. Maybe the week prior, the week after, and amongst the same week it goes out, something like that. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. A lot of people are saying Liverpool and Arsenal because of the red thing and whatever. I think it could be any one of them very easily. Imagine who would you be after if it was Arsenal, the main guy, and the main guy I'd be after would be Tierney, of course, right? But I think Leno's a really good goalkeeper, and I think if it was Liverpool, how much will Alisson go for? Seriously, like, he'll be crazy money. He'll be so expensive because he'll be the best goalkeeper probably. He'll be up there with Neuer and Oblak minimum. And you guys like Salah and Mane, Liverpool come on, it'd be absolutely mental. I think it would be crazy. It'd be crazy good, wouldn't it? It'd be so much fun. If we done the full rerun through the game week, I don't think we have. Sorry, so I'll just click on that, check on it real quickly. I'll check my other little talking points I had here. So the club launch, you kind of brought it up for me, David. If any's what who do you think the club launch is going to be? Do you have any wee sneaky hunches or anything like that? The other little talking point I had, I'll finish off on that, but we'll go back to the team week. Where did we leave off? I think we were going to redo we're going to have another look over the challenger, weren't we? So D4 challenger is really gambly, isn't it? The Cabot is really the biggest gamble. I don't really have anyone else playing, so there's not really much choice. Do you know, I'm going to check the Richie Delat, right? I'm going to check the Richie Delat. Oh, do you know what I might do, actually? I want to see how much Winston Reid is, just a rare. I was actually eyeing up the super rare because he's super cheap. I know he's old, right, and whatever, but I think he'll be all right next year. Right, so we could 0.42. We could pick up a Winston Reid, and that could go into our global D4. Then we're going full SKC except for the goalkeeper, and that can free Richie Delat up, and we can get him into. Oh, do you know what? I think, David, I'm going to check out my Leerdam now because I might even just use him. So we'll check out Leerdam and see why we think he's not played the last game and see if there's anything to be worried about. So MLS was just there. I did just see it and it's bloody disappeared. There it's there. MLS. Oh, it was there. Oh, there we go. And I'll get the share screen on for you guys as well so you can see what I'm up to. Let's check out the Kelvin Leerdam, David. I think I might have done well to listen to you earlier. MLS 2020 share. And see, I quite like, I've got the little mouse on my leg that I was telling you about earlier. I quite like it, but it's a wee bit different to using your fingers on the wee touchpad thing. Nothing wrong with using a mouse, but it's just, coordination and stuff. So, standings. Let's go. We want to check out. So, Kelvin Leerdam plays for Seattle. I got him as a reward. I was really happy I got him as a reward because one of the podcasts I listened to, one of the MLS ones, they were talking about how they mentioned his name with fullback of the year, but in mentioning his name, they said he won't win MLS fullback of the year, but he could definitely win it for most consistent fullback of the year. And I'd literally just won him as a prize. And, a wee bit ashamed as a mild Seattle fan that I'd never really knew much about him or whatever. But as I click into him, he's just not in the squad for the last game. Played 90. He played 80 the game week before against the Earthquakes. On the bench. Tends to feature quite a lot. I think, he's been there for a good few years. He always gets over 20 appearances a season. I think he's got to be amongst the first choice players. I think we might go for him. Get the Delat out there. Saves us a wee bit of ether from buying. Yeah, let's just do that. So let's just get the Kelvin Leerdam in there. And we'll put the Delat in ahead of the Kabori. I'm quite happy with that. So we've got a bit of an MLS contingent going out. The Kabori might start playing. The reason I like Kabori, I don't know if you know this, but he's on loan from Man City. Or just a pre-buy arrangement. They bought him and loaned him back, whatever it is. So we'll stick Delat in there. And then Kabori, if he comes back in, the team starts playing, we'll keep an eye on that situation, see how it progresses. Is there anyone else that's getting missed out of this team that Marco Ilmahateren always plays? So that maybe take him ahead of somebody. you run the risk of overthinking these things sometimes. I think the Nyangbo might play. He's not been playing actually. Why did I even think that? I'm going to put the Ilmahatter in. I'm going to start. So I'm going to put the Ilmahatter in because he definitely plays. I've actually got him listed. No, I don't want to do that because I've got him listed, and if he sells, I don't want the lineup to be wrecked. He always plays. I'm only saying him because I got him as a reward. I don't really want him, but he plays all the time. He's very cheap. If you want him, go and buy him. I've got like 6 players up for sale that are all really cheap and all pretty much play most of the time, if not all the time. And they just came anywhere near them. Go check them out. They're on my gallery. Find them dead easy. But Elma Hatarita, whatever his name is, 0.05 pennies. You know what I mean? For challenger midfielder, plays every week. We had Captain Ajay, didn't we? Yeah, so we'll keep that. I'm going to go with Captain Delat because I think he's now the linchpin of this team. He's going to be, so we'll do that. I'm quite happy we've revisited the challenger, and I think we've made a good little improvement on it. If I'm being honest with you guys. Fitzy Soccer, the source. Leerdam reported hamstring problem last game, but now might be back in training. Oh, there we go. Smaller clubs are definitely more in. Yeah, the thing with the smaller clubs is you don't get the massive hype and you don't get the day one auction crazy prices that get buy you out, which is why the new faces one went quite well for me last night. Because I don't think a lot of those email notifications went to a lot of people, and you can get some of them, quite cheap if nobody else is watching. So a hamstring problem actually nags me out a bit about Leerdam, to be honest with you. So I think we're going to go back to the drawing board on that. I'm quite happy with how that challenger team looks. So we'll see what else we have to kick about with. So if it's a hamstring problem, and I trust these kind of Twitter sources, so they normally come from fan groups and that kind of thing, and hamstring problems don't go away that quickly. So again, we're looking at Manolas. We're looking at Manolas again. We're looking at Cabor. We're looking at... I don't think it's any lineup we did 2 defenders, did we? No, there's not. I really don't want to go and buy a defender either. Do you know? I've kind of thought in my head, I could get... what do you call him? Winston Reed super cheap, but I don't even want to spend money if I don't. I'm going to... Did I maybe throw the Gabriel in? Who's the better gamble, guys? This is what I need your help with, right? Who's the better gamble? Gabriel, bearing in mind that David Luiz took that head knock, he's definitely due a rest after that. They're at home. Then the next game is North London Derby. Or Konstantinos Manolas. Away to AZ. Must-win game for Napoli to secure qualification. Who's the better gamble? Who do I go for? Gabriel or Manolas? Please help me out. Pick one. And I will see. I've just seen that email. You're now the owner of Shinsuke Nakamura. Cheers, guy. So wait. Right, guys, come on. There's only a couple of yous here. Help me out. Who are we going for? Gabriel? Manolas? Even Cabor, do you think? What's this got to Cabor? He did crap. I think he gets sent off. See that game? He scored a 3. He gets sent off and did crap, so he was suspended. And he's been trying to come back into the team. He's not been doing too well at doing that. So, who normally plays Europa League for Arsenal? It's been Mustafi and Luiz. And, yeah, do you know what? I'm probably going to go Gabriel. Because they're at home as well, so as if they're travelling. I'm going to go Gabriel on that. He's on good form as well. It's always good to keep defenders playing and ticking over, especially if they're not travelling. It's not the problem I've got with that, but it's Arsenal are on 12 points. They could just play fucking Rob Holding and that sort of thing and just patch it and just go, nah, nobody's playing a good Tottenham at the weekend. Rest up. I'm going Manolas. I've got my gut's telling me that Manolas gets some minutes because it's a must-win game. They're away in Holland. Holland's a dodgy place to go. I think you send your full strength team there. Yeah, I'm going with Manolas. Sorry, Sam. I hope I'm right. Hope I'm right. That they go full strength. But yeah, sorted. And then the last thing, so the last little kind of talking point thing is oh, we've got, sorry guys, I know there's a bit of a delay. Oh, really, Sam? Holding and Gabriel. What about Mustafi? Look at Europa League, by the way. Mustafi plays a lot. I've just put a comment back there. It's not showed up for some reason. Oh yeah, cool. I love doing this, by the way. I keep forgetting to do it, but I can just pop you up on the screen. So yeah, Sam with a good point there. That's what I'm kind of thinking, that, you know, they're at home. They don't need to travel. You want to keep players ticking over. Well, he has been rested previously, so it's not like in a Bailey situation where he's played like every game recently. Okay, fair enough. I thought you maybe, Sam, I thought you maybe had your finger on the pulse a wee bit more about Arsenal or something, and that's why you thought that. But yeah, if you forgot about Mustafi, then fair enough, we're on the same boat. The last little talking point I had was Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum, let me check the actual price of it as we chat now. So all my lights in here are on little USB batteries. The lights at the very top, I'm going to change my big bulb. I've got a big fancy light that's it's like a fancy toy kind of ornament thing. That's a light that changes colours. It's white now. It was blue. 2 seconds. 455 then now. You know, see, it got up to like 450, 460 about a week ago, and they started to go backwards, and that was cool. And I think a lot of people were expecting it to maybe go right under that 300 mark again, you know, down at like 350, 370, whatever. But it hasn't. It's just kind of really hovered, you know. So the question then comes, you know, in terms of, I've just redid the new to SoRare Start Here playlist, and in it, one of the videos is how much do you need, and I've tried to keep most of it. I've tried to have a nice balance between explaining it in Ethereum as I've kind of known it thus far, and, you know, fiat, pounds and pennies and everything else. And it's hard, you know, because you know, there's no getting away from it. You know, Mark said it, I've quoted him before on this and I'll quote him again. Mark at You'll Never Walk Alone blockchain, on the podcast that they do, him and Hybe Index, episode 9, 10, it was one of those ones. He said traders are always going to, you know, put their own valuation in whatever suits them best, whether it be pounds or crypto. And I think that there's no getting away from that at all. But you need to have something that, you know, you can use as a yardstick. So when I see Ether being at the level it's at the moment, I'm just going to get rid of that flash scores one, sorry. When you see Ether getting to the price where it's at the now and how stable it is, if you've been buying you know, coin when it's been cheaper and that kind of thing, like I did last night with the new faces power hour, you can walk into the market with a little bit more clout, a little bit more weight, a little bit more power to go and get the cards you want, and accept that you're not actually paying the same amount as anyone you're bidding against. You've already paid your money. You're sitting at the table with cheaper chips than everyone else around you. So I like the opportunity to do that. So I'm quite happy for Ether to fluctuate little bits, but when it does really hop and shoot away, you do need to take a little step back and make sure you readjust your valuations of everything, because Ether when I started was like 170 and very quickly went to between 250 and 300 and stayed around that level for a long time in relative terms to how long I've been here. And then really over the last fortnight is when it's jumped up and hit over this 400 mark, which is beautiful. I was saying to people, you know, when that first kind of spike we took that I was on, when it went up to 300 and then settled around the kind of 270 mark for a while, I remember thinking if it's 500 around there, I think that's a good place for this level to be in terms of valuations for the marketplace, bang for buck, you know, whatever. Because I think if you look at some of the Ethereum prices guys were paying historically, then I think they got great prices mainly because Ethereum was super cheap, you know, and if it's super cheap and you're here early, then you're going to get amazing deals. Do people, and I see David's comment here, I'll stick it on the screen. I read that Twitter thing as well about Ether 2.0. I can't remember who shared it exactly. It does feel, David, like the last week that there's a lot, you know, it went down to like 370, 360-ish twice in the last week, and that's when I got half a coin thanks to Ramp. If you haven't used Ramp already, by the way, it's fucking easy, really amazing. But it does feel like there's a lot of resistance, you know, and you know, it's an arbitrary feeling. It's something that, you know, you only get from paying attention to it, paying close attention. But Rossi Boy is going to join us for the Zoom test. So cheers, Rossi Boy. But yeah, you get that you know, I'm saying it's arbitrary because I'm not an expert, just like David's saying he's not, and I don't think any of us are. Well, there's some guys that are, like crypto experts, I would say, but that's the feeling I get. You know, I've been, and again, it might be arbitrary or, you know, a stupid comparison to make, but I've been watching football index graphs for the last 2-3 years, whatever it's been, and you do get a feel for why, you know, you get a feel for where it's moving, and, you know, I don't think it's a coincidence I bought half a coin at 375 and it quickly went to 420 or whatever. You know, you get a feeling. Sometimes your feelings are way off the mark and you've got to live with it. Sometimes they're right, you know, and you take it off with a smooth. One of the main things I love about the channel is I've got video evidence of all my hunches and the amount of them that have hit. You know, it's way higher than the amount that haven't hit, and that's part of the reason I like doing the videos. Call me a bit of a narcissist if you want. I really don't care. I would agree with you. I'm just going to hit on the transfer market just so that you get something at least semi-interesting on the screen while we close the stream out. We get the oh, you're joking. I need this on my phone. I'm bidding for that, Usami. Oh, please work. If you're watching the stream, don't beat me to it. I beg you. I don't know if I'm going to make it, by the way. For some, I'll make it. For some reason, it happened to, do you know what? It may have happened on my phone as well, because after that mad bidding spree, it went on. Yeah, it doesn't. Add card. Oh, good. It remembers my details at least anyway. But what one is what one? That's that one. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the arse, by the way. Oh, oh no, it's bidding up now. See if this is any use in this stream, by the way. I'll be raging. Let's see how much he goes for. I'm a big fan of him. I did him on one of my videos, as you'll know. Nah, I don't think all those guys. Spicer probably went for that. Spicer's a big player. Jack P's a new one to me. I like this guy anyway. And if I thought I was going to get him for like 60, 70 quid, whatever he was maybe looking to slink away for there, I'd have been all over it. 135 quid. I'm in no rush to pay that. I would pay it, but just not today. No rush at all. Is there anything else exciting? We'll maybe stick on the screen to keep these entertained. Takumi Ominami. I want to see a familiar name bidding for this guy. I got him for peanuts. He was one of my first follows for the J League when I was doing my research when it was coming out that it was going live. And he's been really solid since when he's in the team, he does well. I don't recognise these guys' names. I hope you do well. I hope you follow the channel. But there's some familiar names to the channel that I like to see on some of the cards. And American cards, I've not like tipped a lot of cards, but most of the ones I've went for so far in terms of anything I would hold out to you is, do you know what? See, if you bought him, you're probably quite happy with it. They've all shot like 70 pluses, 80 pluses, 100s, stuff like that. So I always like to see you guys bidding on stuff and getting some action. Makes me feel better, you know. If I've my Tanguy Nyanzu, are you going to play? All these injuries, 6 hours. I wonder who's bidding on that. Don't know either of those guys. New names in the party. I think he's got a good chance of playing, by the way. All those bloody defensive injuries they've got. And a young 18-year-old from PSG could potentially go far, I would say. Usami! There we go, Rossi. I've let you in the room. Yeah, Usami, let's see how he finishes. $415, 187 he's went for. To Z, 502 FC. Well done to you, pal. It's a good card to have. Yeah, well, if I could have got him, David, at that price, I'd have been buzzing. Ross seems to be in. Oh, Ross, I can hear you. I don't know if the people at home can hear you, which is part of the reason we're doing this little test. So, can you hear me, Ross?
I can.
You can, and that's through the Zoom thing, yeah?
Yes.
Right, okay. I'm going to try and get application window Zoom. share. So I think Ross. I think this is how John rocks his boat. So I'm going to pop you into here. Right. Okay. And I don't know if this then means. Right. Okay. So I've got it on. That's fine. Me and you are here. Rossi boy, thanks for joining me.
Oh, how are we?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. How you been?
Too bad. There's a little bit of delay, I think, but I don't know if it's just internet based or what the script is. But I'm watching on YouTube and I can see that I'm on your screen, so that's good.
Right. Okay. I'll also listen to this back and make sure you came out with it. If anyone who is here, David, I know you're a big help so far. Anyone who wants to just let us know they can hear Ross, okay. Me and Ross will have a wee chat, maybe about this game week coming up, or what club. Ross, what club do you think's coming tomorrow?
I'm not entirely sure. I was trying to work it out from the clues, and I honestly, I've not had too much of a look at it, so I wouldn't like to guess, unfortunately. But a few people said Monaco, but they said that Monaco is too obvious, so I don't think it'll be Monaco.
Yeah. But I've seen the Red Star one. You know, the thing with Red Star obviously is there's two of them. There's the wee minnow team in Paris, and then there's, I don't know how you pronounce it in their native language, that they've started using for UEFA competitions, but the Red Star Belgrade team. But then that thing today, Jeremy Labor, people thought it was like an anagram, or you know, a pseudonym for Jeremy Corbyn or whatever, Labour, and it was going to be Arsenal. Or I've seen that was a few guesses, and I thought. But then I googled Jeremy Labor Red Star just to see if it was something obvious would come up. Sam,
He does exist.
Thank you very much. He does exist, and he plays for Red Star, and he came from Monaco, which is why I think it's too obvious. But so I thought, if you look into this guy's past, this guy's shared an agent with somebody probably, or he went for a trial at Arsenal, or
Yeah, well, the last clue was that he's the number 4.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
They said something about his. Says their final obscure clue. Look at the squad number. So he's squad number 4. I honestly don't know. I think they've been a little bit too obscure, but.
Do you think it could be a really small team, like a really small team?
It could be, yeah. A lot of people were saying that it's because something about Labour being red and Monaco being red and Monaco 4th in the league or something, but they've said it's not Monaco, so I don't know. Monaco would make sense though, because they've got a lot of League 1 teams. So
yeah, well, I think Ligue 1 will be the first team, the first league that they fill out, mainly because they're based in France, aren't they? You know, and they've also made a good start with PSG and Marseille and whatnot.
Do they not have the full J League yet? Is there J League?
Oh no, but I say that, I mean like when they've signed clubs one at a time.
Ah, right, okay.
So it's a full J League, full MLS, full Jupiter League,
K League,
and K League as well. Yeah, of course. But all those leagues that are kind of biting them up one at a time. I think France will be the first one that goes full. It's really good to hear that guys can hear you as well. I was thinking if it was, like I was saying in the stream earlier, I know you've been watching the football and stuff, probably a lot of people, other people have as well. But and Matt, if Liverpool come on, who do you think the most expensive Liverpool player would be on any cards, you know, that you want to think about, like rare, super rare, whatever?
I think it would probably be Salah. I think.
You think so?
For the basis to that, I think he's. If you look at who's so consistent for Liverpool, he's consistently involved all the time. He's consistently scoring and assisting. He's essentially the number 1 FPL asset, isn't he? So I think a lot of people will take that knowledge and apply it over to SoRare. I think obviously Trent's the obvious one because he's young, but he's also not performing. So if they were to release it right now, it would probably be Salah.
My thought would have been Alisson, because imagine that he's like, how old is Alisson? He's like mid-20s, isn't he?
I think he's like 27, 28. Something like that.
So he's like kind of young Neuer, you know, in terms of stat wise, because he'll be getting all the passes and attempted assists and all that kind of thing. Sam's got a guess.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know how much for the likes of like a unique Neuer or Oblak went for. I don't know if there has been one, but I definitely think that just football fans' general nature is to gravitate towards attacking players. I think so. I think you're more likely to see the unique Salah and the unique Mane going for higher, albeit they've got less years of utility than Alisson.
Yeah, fair play. Findex Sam's dropped in saying he thinks a good long stretch could be Galatasaray or Olympiacos because they've got 4 stars on their badges. That could be a sneaky one. Ross, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you here, right? But just as a test, I'm going to take on the stream your little screen off, okay? I've got 8 people still watching. Okay. If you could just tell me, once I've done this, I've taken the zoom off the main screen. Can you, me and Ross will still talk, right? Just let me know if you can still hear Ross. So it's just to know if the audio still comes through like this or not. On you go, sorry, Ross.
I was just going to say, obviously the video's a little behind, so I'm watching on YouTube, but I've not got the sound on, so I can sort of see what's going on. So it's still not quite kicked in yet, and now it's waiting away now. So
sweet. What do you think about? See this game week, Ross? Have you done your teams yet?
I have. I've done my team. I've only got one singular team, unfortunately, and it's not a very strong one because I don't have a goalkeeper.
Oh, no way.
I've got a common Chesney, which in the All-Star might be okay. Yeah. So I'm sort of going for the Ethereum rather than the win, for example.
Yeah, just pull the coin.
But apart from that, it's a pretty small team. I've got Chesney and Danilo. I've got Ruben Diaz.
Nice.
I've got Gregus, I think he plays for Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I've got Pulido, who is a bit of a gamble, but it was him or Chiquinho, and Chiquinho played the last game for Benfica and was pretty poor against Rangers, so I don't see him playing again.
Sorry, you go.
Sorry, I was going to say he was sort of a future buy before he was IPO'd on. Well, he hasn't been IPO'd yet on Football Index, but I tracked him about 2 years ago. He had ridiculous form for a minnow team in Portugal.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, if this guy ends up getting a loan back to there or something like that, I think he had double figures for goals and assists.
Nice.
The season before he went to Benfica, so he was sort of preempting that, but I think he cost like £9 or something, so I was like, I'm happy to hold this guy for the long term and either hope he breaks into the Benfica team or hope he gets shipped off to another Portuguese team.
That's good. That's one of the things that I think me and you spoke about this quite a lot, but I say it to folk all the time is, see, even if you don't want to leave Football Index, no one's making anyone choose. You can do everything. But even if you had this as like an outlet for those players that haven't IPO'd yet, but you can still get your finger in that pie, then why the fuck not, So that's really, I didn't realise that it's been Chiquinho, it's good that you kind of know that already. Then again, when you see that card, you can jump on it. But I make you right. I think Pulido is going to feature. I think he starts, but I think even if he doesn't start, he's still got good potential to come off the bench and get a goal or an assist or something, get a decent score in the end.
I think the other thing as well is it is just so mad that all these players can hold a decent value and they'd be in a league that would literally be obsolete in Football Index. If all that focuses on is the top 5 leagues, so anything outside of that, you're then hoping that the player transfers to the top 5 leagues, or you're hoping that the player can, I don't know, I've seen rises for people going to Rangers and stuff like that, but it's more just they're hoping to jump on for a bit of media or whatever. But it doesn't necessarily have to be logical why players go up in Football Index, but the end goal is usually to get someone in a PB league competing for PB weekly. But again, even at that, you're still, unless it's a major European competition, these players will only roll around once a week, whereas 2 game weeks every week, and hopefully that will sustain. Whilst the J League and the K League and the MLS are on and off season, and obviously there's the Russian break coming up, so hopefully there'll be enough football, and I'm hoping that their onboarding is quite tactical in the way that I think the boys from the podcast were talking about Santos Laguna.
Yeah,
they were saying that they had a lot of fixtures coming up, and there might be game weeks where it'll be them and maybe a few other teams. So across the sort of winter months, they were looking like a really good bet. And then obviously as they start to build that league out, then it's going to be really viable come the breaks in the traditional leagues. Yeah,
and that'll be one of the good things about it. We had a game week a few weeks ago, or I say weeks, but because game weeks are half a week, it does sometimes feel like time's moving quicker than what it actually is. Because you'll allow us a new game week, but it's just like a 3-day cycle. But there was 2 game weeks there where there was like 4 Asian games on or something, and that was it alone. And I think we'll still get a few wee spots where that's probably the case, mainly international breaks, obviously. But I think you're right. As soon as more of these leagues kind of pad out a bit more. The funny thing as well is that, see, when the Santos Laguna was like about to happen, a lot of people were thinking it might have been a Brazilian club. And the thing about Brazil, right, I don't know if you've looked at Brazil in much detail, right? But the Brazilian league is kind of like there's like a main division that all the big teams play in, but then all the big teams have like a regional league and a regional cup and promotion. So it's such a complex structure, Brazilian football. So I don't know if all, because some Brazilian teams, because they're in so many competitions domestically, some of them play a fuck ton of games, and I don't know if all of them will be included or not. I think it would be potentially very exciting if it did, but
it would be pretty amazing. I think, yeah, I've not looked into it too much, but I remember watching the Club World Cup, and I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but they played Liverpool, and I think they were saying that they were on their 92nd game of the season or something daft.
oh yeah,
absolutely crazy.
That'd have been Flamengo or something probably, but I 96. I can
I
believe
think it was Flamengo. Yeah,
I can believe it, man.
I think they were saying Gerson had played like nearly all the games, and there was talk of him going to Europe. But I think by the time it had rolled around, he was either burnt out or he just wanted to stay back in Brazil, because I think he was linked with quite a few big Prem teams.
Yeah. Do you remember the other Gerson that almost made it big but didn't? There's been another Gerson before, and I think they ended up at Seville or something. Ended up being kind of, I don't know, his name was Ganso. Do you remember him?
Ganso. Yeah. He was going to be the heir apparent, and he got his move too late, I think.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the pace to keep up with European football. But obviously, it was a bit like Alano, who we were saying the other night about him at Man City. When he wanted to turn it on, he was a really good player.
Yeah, he was class.
But otherwise, he wasn't quite up to pace.
Aye, I like some of those Brazilian boys. Yeah, they can be tidy. But again, see as we get those Brazilian teams on. Like I was talking to somebody earlier today, right, and see that Sporting Lisbon guy that's really hot now. What's his name? Goncalves, something.
Goncalves, yeah.
Yeah, the one we were talking about earlier. I was talking to somebody else about him today, and they picked him up for like 0.06 or something like that. Like when this season the cards came out before he hit the big scores, and somebody sent him a direct offer. I won't tell you, but it was like, a good exchange, 2 cards and a wee bit of FIFA. And then imagine the Brazilian players he can maybe unearth, once those teams roll on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mad randoms like Richarlison that end up at Watford and then go to Everton for 50 million,
It's the exact same as I said to you since I've actually got on. It was the first thing that I asked. And I asked if they were getting the Scottish leagues on. And they were saying they were working on it. Well, as someone who is, I guess, a self-proclaimed Scottish football junkie, there's a lot of things. I think I would have a massive edge in terms of picking out sort of unknown players, and it'd be sort of comparative to somebody who knows the J League inside out. And I've learned it over a number of game weeks now, sort of who's good and who's not. But I can only go by really data and highlights, whereas I watch a lot of full games in Scotland, and I know who plays week in, week out, and I know which fixtures are favourable and all that stuff. So as soon as that gets onboarded, it's going to be massive for me. It's like trading as well as just entering game weeks. It's going to be huge.
You'll be remortgaging that house of yours.
I'll be moving as much money around as I can as possible, hoping that FI picks up a bit by then. Because,
if the SPL came out tomorrow, Ross, what unique would you break the bank for? The full SPL right now.
Oh, well, I think Edward's your safe bet. If money wasn't an option, I think Edward. I think Kent would be a good one, because I can see him
going back to the Prem.
And then obviously there's very little licensed Prem teams. Yeah. So I could see him at a Leeds, for example. Leeds aren't licensed, so he would then be extremely scarce. I don't know about the rest of the Rangers players. I don't know if Tavernier's going to move, but I'd imagine, I don't know if you can check on SoRare data, but his scores must be ridiculous this season.
That'd be interesting. That's a cool peak. I think Tavernier.
I don't know if they have Scottish players data.
I think Tavernier, to be honest with you, is that how you spell it? Taver. Put in Tav and see what comes up.
Yeah, I mean, his scores are pretty ridiculous.
Have you found him?
He's got 4 100s this season. 98. I'll just read it out. 88, 81, 91, 55, 90, 69, 100, 20, 30, 88, 100, 40, 80, 64, 92, 88, 76, 60, 100, 100.
Oh my God.
And then you got 20. Yeah, I mean, for a defender as well. It's pretty ridiculous.
That guy's a prick and all. But no,
last 5 average is 73.
What was that?
last 5 averages 73.
Tidy, man. Tidy. Aye. Well, it'd be so interesting if that if the SPL was to come on board, especially somebody like Tavernier going to be the best, probably the best defender in the game, eh? The scores like that.
He wouldn't be far off. I mean, the scores are just mad, and I'm not even sure if these will be that accurate. I don't know if these get checked to. I don't know if they only check the ones that are actually licensed or what. This might just be like an overview from Opta. I'm not sure.
Aye,
not sure how SoRare data does it.
Aye, I think that's I don't know the ins and outs yet. Aye, that'd be interesting. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I hope it's something decent. I had that half a coin that I bought cheap, kind of sitting and waiting for something like a new team to come on board, and I spent it on some of those new faces from last night. The new faces, Power Hour, which I was happy about. I was kind of talking about earlier in the stream and whatever. But Ross, you like this? I also got a Nakamura on the stream.
Shinsuke.
Aye, he was on auction. I seen him just before I went live, and I thought I put 0.01 on him, you know. And I thought, if I'm going to buy him at some point, then you're never going to get him any cheaper than auction, 0.01, you know. And then it just come on halfway through the stream, you've won Nakamura. So, oh, brilliant. That'll do me.
That's a good one to have in your collection, just for collector's sake.
Oh, yeah, it's £4. Yeah, I mean,
he's a bit of a legend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's £4 just to have it. Why not? You know, magic. Well, listen, Ross, I'm going to cut and dry about here. Thanks a lot for doing the test with me on the Zoom. Everyone who's been hanging about and watching tonight, thanks very much. Ross, do you want to leave us with anything in particular?
All I'll say is just keep your eyes peeled. Maybe some content coming.
Yes, love it. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.